The message came on a quiet Tuesday morning. Admiral James Walker stood in Earth's Global Defense Command Center, his weathered face illuminated by the massive screens that covered the walls. The room, usually filled with the quiet hum of computers and soft conversations, had fallen completely silent. Every eye was fixed on the central display, where an alien transmission played on repeat. "People of Earth," the message began, its English unnaturally perfect. "We are the Dominion. Your civilization has been deemed unworthy of independence. Submit to our rule within 48 hours, or face extinction." This is not a negotiation. Walker's fingers tightened around his coffee cup, but his face remained calm. 25 years of military service had taught him that panic was the enemy of clear thinking. Around him, younger officers watched with varying degrees of fear and anger on their faces. "Track the signal source," he ordered, his voice steady and firm. The command center burst into activity, fingers flying across keyboards and voices calling out readings. "Sir," Lieutenant Rogers called out, "the signal originates from just beyond lunar orbit. We've got multiple objects decelerating into the system." Satellite feeds flickered to life on the secondary screens. Dark shapes moved against the star field, sleek, angular vessels that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Initial size estimates put the smallest at nearly a kilometer in length. Walker set down his coffee and pressed the button that would alert every major military leader on Earth. "Get me the Secretary General," he said, "and someone wake up our best xenolinguists. I want to know everything about how they constructed that message." The next 12 hours passed in a blur of activity. Leaders from every nation connected to the emergency conference. Scientists analyzed every fragment of data they could gather about the alien ships. Military commanders reviewed defense plans that had existed only in theory until now. Walker watched it all from his command post, processing information and making decisions. He'd trained for this, even if nobody had really believed it would happen. The old simulator programs called it First Contact Scenario 7, hostile advanced aliens demanding surrender. They'd practiced it like a fire drill, but now the fire was real. "Admiral," a young analyst called out, "we're detecting energy signatures from the alien fleet. They're powering up something big." Before Walker could respond, space itself seemed to ripple around one of the alien ships. A beam of light, too bright to look at directly, lanced out from its bow. When the glare faded, half of Earth's communication satellites were gone, vaporized in an instant. "A demonstration," Walker muttered. He understood the strategy. Show overwhelming force, demand surrender, minimize actual fighting. It was what any sensible military commander would do when facing a weaker opponent. But there was something the Dominion had missed, something they couldn't have known. Walker opened a secure channel to the hidden base beneath the Rocky Mountains. "Dr. Wells, initialize Project Phoenix. Authorization code, Sword of Damocles." "Sir?" The scientist's voice crackled through the speaker. "Are you sure? The system's never been tested in real combat. The alternative is surrender, Doctor, and humans don't surrender well." As klaxons began to sound throughout the underground bases that dotted the globe, Walker allowed himself a small smile. The Dominion had made a classic military mistake. They'd assumed that Earth's visible defenses were its only defenses. They hadn't considered that humans, paranoid and innovative as they were, might have spent decades preparing for this exact scenario. The aliens had given Earth 48 hours to submit. They were about to learn that they'd given humanity more than enough time to fight back. In his command center, surrounded by the controlled chaos of a military preparing for war, Admiral Walker began to issue the orders that would show the Dominion exactly why you should never back humans into a corner. The next 2 days would change the galaxy forever. The Dominion ships hung in Earth's orbit like dark storm clouds before a hurricane. Admiral Walker watched from the command center as another defensive satellite exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The aliens were methodically destroying Earth's visible defense network, piece by piece. They were putting on a show of force, demonstrating their power while the surrender deadline ticked away. That's the 15th satellite they've destroyed, Lieutenant Rogers reported, his voice tight with anger. They're targeting our military communications network. Walker nodded but said nothing. He was watching the pattern of destruction with growing interest. Each blast from the alien ships followed a specific sequence, a buildup of energy, a flicker in their shields, then the devastating beam of light. More importantly, their ships always turned to the same angle before firing. "Send this footage to Dr. Wells," Walker ordered, marking the timestamp. "Tell her to focus on the 3 seconds before each attack." The command center's atmosphere was tense but controlled. On the surface, Earth's military forces appeared to be scrambling in panic, moving ships and troops in seemingly random patterns. But beneath the chaos, a careful plan was unfolding. The main screen suddenly lit up with a new transmission from the Dominion fleet. The alien commander appeared, its form obscured by strange lighting that made it impossible to determine its true appearance. "Your primitive defenses fall easily," it said, its voice filled with contempt. "This is but a fraction of our power. Submit now, and we will be merciful. Continue to resist, and we will demonstrate our full strength." Walker stepped forward. "This is Admiral Walker of Earth's Defense Force. We are reviewing your demand and require the full allocated time to formulate our response." The alien made a sound that might have been laughter. "Review all you wish, human. It will not change the outcome." The transmission cut off abruptly. Moments later, 3 more satellites exploded. But Walker was smiling now. The alien commander had made a crucial mistake. It had opened a direct channel. Earth's best computer systems had been waiting for exactly this opportunity, analyzing every aspect of the transmission. His secure phone buzzed. It was Dr. Wells. "Admiral," she said, excitement clear in her voice. "We've found it. Their shield frequency changes when they fire. It has to let the energy beam through. There's a pattern, and more importantly, there's a delay. It's less than half a second, but it's there. Can we exploit it? Give me 12 more hours. We've been preparing for something like this for years. Remember those useless quantum targeting systems everyone said were a waste of money? Turns out they're perfect for this." Walker looked at the countdown timer. 14 hours until the deadline. "You have 10 hours, Doctor. Make them count." Around the world, hidden facilities hummed with activity. While the Dominion confidently destroyed Earth's obvious defenses, they remained completely unaware of what lurked beneath the surface. Experimental weapons, designed to fight enemies exactly like them, were being calibrated. Advanced AI systems processed the data from each destroyed satellite, learning, adapting, finding patterns. "Sir," Lieutenant Rogers called out, "they're moving into a new attack formation. Looks like they're targeting our ground-based radar stations next." "Let them," Walker replied calmly. "Every attack teaches us more about them. And right now, knowledge is our best weapon." The lieutenant looked uncertain. "But sir, without those stations, sometimes," Walker said, watching another satellite explode, "you have to let the enemy think they're winning. It makes them careless. And careless enemies make mistakes." As if to prove his point, another alien beam lashed out at Earth's defenses, but this time the hidden sensors captured every detail of the shield fluctuation. Every bit of data brought humanity one step closer to finding a weakness in the seemingly invincible Dominion ships. The aliens thought they were watching Earth's defenses crumble. Instead, they were helping humans prepare for the biggest counterattack in human history. The trap was nearly ready. All they needed was for the Dominion to spring it. The underground base beneath the Rocky Mountains was a hive of activity. Dr. Wells led Admiral Walker through corridors filled with technology that officially didn't exist. "They think we're primitives," she said, gesturing to rows of sleek, black ships in the massive hidden hangar. "They don't know that we've been preparing for this since we first looked up at the stars and wondered if we were alone." Walker ran his hand along one of the experimental craft. It was smaller than a regular fighter jet, barely large enough for two pilots. Its surface was covered in a material that absorbed radar and light, making it nearly invisible to conventional detection methods. "How many?" he asked. 300 of these stealth fighters ready to launch. Another 1,000 automated drones equipped with the new quantum targeting systems. Dr. Wells smiled. "And that's just in this facility. There are 4 more bases like this one around the world." The Admiral nodded. Humanity had always been good at preparing for the worst. While they built satellites and space stations above, they had also worked in secret below. Years of watching science fiction movies had taught them one thing: when aliens arrived, they needed to be ready. "Show me what you found in their shield pattern," Walker said. They moved to the control room, where a 3D hologram showed one of the Dominion ships. Data scrolled across multiple screens as the alien vessel fired its weapons in a recorded sequence. "Here," Dr. Wells pointed. "Their shields operate on a quantum frequency that shifts constantly. That's why they seemed impenetrable. But when they fire their main weapons, the frequency has to stabilize for 0.47 seconds." She tapped a command, and the hologram zoomed in. "We've modified our weapons to exploit this gap. Will it work?" "In simulations, yes. In real combat," she shrugged. "We'll find out soon." A lieutenant rushed into the room. "Admiral, the Dominion fleet is moving. They're taking up attack positions around major cities." Walker checked his watch. 2 hours until the deadline. "They're getting impatient." "Good. Doctor, are your teams ready?" "All pilots are in position. The automated systems are online. We can launch everything within 5 minutes." The Admiral opened a secure channel to all hidden bases. "This is Walker. Initialize Operation Phoenix. Authorization code: Rising Dawn." Across the globe, underground hangar doors began to open. Pilots rushed to their ships. AI systems came fully online, their quantum processors humming with activity. "What makes us dangerous isn't our technology," Walker said, watching the preparations. "It's that we've spent our entire history learning to fight against stronger opponents. We adapt. We improvise. We overcome." Dr. Wells nodded. "The Dominion thinks they know what we're capable of based on what they can see. They don't understand that humans are like icebergs. Our true strength lies beneath the surface." The main screen lit up with another transmission from the Dominion fleet. The alien commander appeared, its voice dripping with superiority. "Your time grows short, humans. We see no preparations for surrender. Perhaps another demonstration is needed." Walker stepped forward, allowing himself a small smile. "Actually, we're ready to respond now. You choose to resist. Then you choose extinction." "No," Walker replied calmly. "We choose to show you why it's a bad idea to corner a species that turns surviving extinction-level events into an art form." He cut the transmission and turned to Dr. Wells. "Launch everything. Let's show them what humanity's been hiding." Around the world, mountainsides and desert floors split open. From the oceans, hidden platforms rose to the surface. Thousands of ships, both piloted and automated, emerged from humanity's secret facilities. Each one was equipped with weapons specifically designed to exploit the weakness in Dominion shields. The aliens had spent 2 days showing humans their power. Now it was humanity's turn to reveal what they could really do. In orbit, the Dominion fleet detected the massive launch. For the first time, there was a note of uncertainty in their communications. They were about to learn why humans were the galaxy's ultimate survivors. Space lit up like a Christmas tree as Earth launched its response. Thousands of small ships rose from hidden bases across the planet, swarming toward the Dominion fleet like angry hornets. The alien vessels, massive and imposing, turned their weapons toward this unexpected threat. "Stealth squadrons, engage as planned," Admiral Walker commanded from the mobile command center. "Hit and run only. Don't give them time to adapt." The human ships moved with incredible speed and precision. They darted between the larger Dominion vessels, too small and quick to target effectively. Each time an alien ship charged its main weapon, multiple Earth fighters would pounce, firing precisely when the enemy shields flickered. First blood, Lieutenant Rogers announced as a Dominion ship's engine erupted in flames. Tiger Squadron caught them in the shield change. The aliens responded with fury, filling space with energy beams and plasma bolts. But they had trained to fight large ships in formation, not this swarm of tiny, agile craft that refused to follow normal combat patterns. "They're trying to form a defensive sphere," Dr. Wells observed, watching the tactical display. "Classic big ship strategy. They want to cover each other's blind spots." Walker nodded. "And that's exactly what we planned for. Launch the automated drones." A new wave of unmanned craft joined the battle. These were even smaller than the fighter ships, barely larger than missiles. They carried no weapons. They were weapons, programmed to wait for the precise moment when Dominion shields shifted, then rammed the vulnerable spots at near-light speed. The alien commander's voice boomed through the command channel. "This is impossible. You are a primitive species. Your technology was assessed." "You assessed what we showed you," Walker replied calmly. "Big mistake." On the main screen, another Dominion ship fell out of formation, its hull breached in multiple places by the kamikaze drones. The alien fleet's precise formations began to break apart as they tried to deal with threats coming from all directions. "Sir," Lieutenant Rogers called out, "their flagship is shifting position. They're trying to retreat to higher orbit." Walker leaned forward. This was the moment he'd been waiting for. "All forces, execute Operation Thunderbolt. Focus on the flagship. Show them what happens when they underestimate humanity." Every Earth ship suddenly changed tactics. Instead of individual attacks, they moved in synchronized waves. As one group distracted the flagship's defenses, others targeted specific points on its hull. The drones followed precisely calculated paths, forcing the alien ship to constantly adjust its shields. "Their shield frequency is destabilizing," Dr. Wells reported, excitement in her voice. "They can't maintain the pattern under this much stress." Walker opened a channel to all Earth forces. "This is it, people. Hit them with everything we've got." The space around the Dominion flagship erupted in a coordinated assault. Fighter ships fired from multiple angles, timing their attacks perfectly with the shield fluctuations. Drones slipped through the weakened defensive screen, targeting crucial systems. The massive alien ship shuddered under the assault. Secondary explosions rippled along its hull as human weapons found their mark. Its once mighty weapons fell silent. "Sir," Lieutenant Rogers said, "the other Dominion ships, they're retreating. Breaking orbit at maximum acceleration." The command center erupted in cheers, but Walker kept his focus on the tactical display. "Keep the pressure on. Don't let them regroup. Show them that Earth isn't just fighting back, we're winning." As the remaining alien ships fled into deep space, the damaged flagship hung in orbit, a testament to humanity's unexpected strength. Its running lights flickered weakly as emergency signals pulsed from its hull. "Send them a message," Walker ordered. "Tell them we'll accept their surrender now." The battle wasn't over. Walker knew the Dominion would be back with a larger fleet. But Earth had proven something crucial. Humans weren't helpless prey. They were dangerous predators who had spent millennia perfecting the art of warfare. And they were just getting started. On the main screen, the Dominion flagship's surrender beacon began to flash. The first round had gone to humanity, and the galaxy would never be the same. 3 days after Earth's victory over the Dominion flagship, Admiral Walker received an unexpected message. "Sir," Lieutenant Rogers said, "we're picking up a transmission on a frequency we've never seen before. It's not from the Dominion." The command center's main screen flickered to life, showing an alien very different from the Dominion. This one had a softer appearance, almost gentle, with large eyes that seemed to shine with intelligence. "People of Earth," the alien spoke, "I am Ambassador Tech of the Free Worlds Alliance. We have watched your battle with great interest. Walker stepped forward. "This is Admiral Walker of Earth. Why have you contacted us?" "Because you have done something remarkable," Tech replied. "You are the first civilization in 500 years to successfully defeat a Dominion attack force." The command center fell silent. Dr. Wells, who had been analyzing data from the battle, moved closer to the screen. "You mean they've done this before?" she asked. "Many times. The Dominion builds its empire by crushing younger civilizations. They study a planet's visible technology, then strike with overwhelming force. Their victims either surrender or fall." Tech's expression brightened. "But you surprised them." Walker thought about the centuries of human warfare that had taught them to always have a hidden advantage. They only saw what we wanted them to see. "Exactly." Tech seemed excited. "Other worlds hide their technology too, but you humans, you turned secrecy into an art form. Your ability to prepare for unknown threats is unique in our experience." More aliens appeared on secondary screens, representatives from other species who had suffered under Dominion rule. Each had a similar story: the sudden arrival, the demands, the show of force. "We have been fighting the Dominion for generations," another alien explained. "But we fight defensively, trying to protect what we have. You humans, you fought back. You hunted their ships. You showed no fear." "Fear is a luxury we've never been able to afford," Walker replied. "Earth's history is full of stronger powers trying to conquer weaker ones. We learned long ago that the best defense is a strong offense." Ambassador Tech nodded. "This is why we're contacting you. The Dominion will return with a larger fleet. They always do. But this time, they'll find Earth is not alone." The tactical display lit up as new signals appeared. Hidden ships from multiple alien civilizations decloaked around Earth's orbit, not threatening, but offering protection. "The Free Worlds Alliance offers Earth full membership," Tech announced. "Your tactical knowledge, your innovative technology, your, what is the word? Guerrilla warfare techniques. These could change everything." Dr. Wells studied the readings from the alien ships. "Their technology. It's different from the Dominion's. More diverse. Because we are many cultures working together," Tech explained, "each bringing their own strengths. And now we hope to add humanity's strength to our own." Walker considered the offer. Earth could fight the Dominion alone if they had to. Humans were good at facing impossible odds. But having allies, especially ones with advanced technology and knowledge of the enemy. "The Dominion thinks they're the hunters," Walker said. "It's time they learned what it feels like to be the prey." Over the next few hours, plans were made and alliances formed. Earth's military leaders shared their battle tactics, while alien technicians helped upgrade human defenses. The Free Worlds Alliance marveled at humanity's preparation and creativity, while humans learned about technologies they had never imagined. As Admiral Walker watched humans and aliens working together, he smiled. The Dominion had meant to find an easy conquest. Instead, they had created something far more dangerous: a unified force that combined human ingenuity with alien technology. When the Dominion returned, they wouldn't be facing a primitive civilization fighting for survival. They would be facing an alliance ready to bring the fight to them. And for the first time in centuries, the galaxy's greatest bullies were about to learn what fear felt like. The captured Dominion flagship became Earth's greatest laboratory. 1 month after the alliance formed, Admiral Walker stood in a massive hangar watching teams of human and alien scientists working together. The Dominion ship had been completely taken apart, its technology studied and improved upon in ways its original builders never imagined. "It's amazing," Dr. Wells said, showing Walker the latest test results. "Their technology is advanced, but it's rigid. They haven't made any major changes to their designs in over a century." "That's what happens when you think you're the strongest," Walker replied. "You stop trying to improve." Around them, engineers were installing new weapons on Earth's stealth fighters. The ships now carried a hybrid system that combined Dominion energy weapons with human targeting computers and Free Worlds Alliance stealth technology. "Look at this," Dr. Wells said excitedly, leading Walker to a testing area. She pointed to what looked like a simple metal cube. "The Dominion uses quantum shields that shift frequency to block attacks, but our AI systems found a way to make them shift faster, thousands of times per second." She pressed a button, and the cube disappeared completely. "Perfect invisibility?" Walker asked, impressed. "Better," she grinned. "The shield shifts so fast it can phase through solid matter. Imagine missiles that can pass right through Dominion hull armor before becoming solid again." Lieutenant Rogers rushed up to them, holding a tablet. "Sir, you need to see this. Long-range sensors just picked up multiple Dominion fleets heading our way, at least 5 times larger than the first attack force." Walker nodded calmly. "Right on schedule. How are the new defense systems coming along?" "The orbital ring is complete," Dr. Wells reported. 20 stations, each equipped with our new hybrid weapons. The Free Worlds Alliance helped us hide them behind a cloak field. The Dominion won't see them until it's too late. They moved to the command center, where representatives from different alien races worked alongside human operators. The tactical display showed the approaching Dominion fleet, dozens of massive warships moving in their typical rigid formation. "They haven't changed their tactics," Ambassador Tech observed. "They still think overwhelming force is enough." "Then let's show them how wrong they are," Walker said. "Begin Operation Evolution." Around Earth, hidden shipyards activated. The new vessels that emerged were unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. They combined the best elements of multiple civilizations' technology, enhanced by human innovation and adaptability. "All ships report ready," Lieutenant Rogers announced. "Drone swarms are in position. Phase shift missiles are armed." Walker opened a channel to all forces. "Remember your training. The Dominion expects us to fight like them. Big ships, direct confrontation. That's not humanity's way. We strike from shadows. We adapt. We overcome. Show them why innovation beats tradition." The first wave of Dominion ships entered the outer solar system. Their sensors showed Earth exactly as they expected, seemingly defenseless after the first battle. "They're broadcasting their surrender demand," Rogers reported. "Send them our reply," Walker ordered. The words appeared on the main screen. "Innovation beats stagnation." Suddenly, Earth's orbital ring decloaked. 20 stations fired simultaneously, their hybrid weapons tearing through Dominion shields as if they weren't there. The alien fleet's rigid formation broke apart as they tried to respond to attacks coming from weapons they'd never seen before. Phase shift missiles passed through their hulls like ghosts, detonating inside their ships. Drone swarms with rotating shield frequencies made their return fire useless. Every time the Dominion adapted to one type of attack, Earth forces switched to something new. "This is why you don't underestimate humans," Dr. Wells said proudly. "We don't just use technology. We improve it. We combine it in ways no one else thinks to try." The battle wasn't over, but its outcome was already clear. The Dominion's greatest strength, their advanced technology, had become their weakness. They had stopped innovating, stopped adapting. And that was something humans would never do. In the chaos of battle, Walker allowed himself a small smile. The galaxy was about to learn an important lesson: never give humans time to innovate. The final battle for Earth's independence happened exactly where it began. In orbit around the blue planet, Admiral Walker stood at his command post, watching as the last Dominion fleet approached. This wasn't just another attack force. This was the Dominion's main armada, led by their supreme commander. Over 200 massive warships filled the tactical display, more than all their previous attacks combined. "They're finally taking us seriously," Dr. Wells observed. "Too late," Walker replied. "That's the problem with bullies. They never expect their victims to become stronger than them." The Dominion Supreme Commander's image appeared on the main screen. Unlike previous encounters, There was no attempt to hide their appearance. The alien leader looked almost reptilian, with armor-like scales and cold, calculating eyes. "This ends today," the Supreme Commander declared. "Your resistance ends. Your alliance ends. Your world ends." Walker smiled. "You still don't understand what you're dealing with, do you? Humanity doesn't end. We evolve. We adapt. We overcome. You are merely prey that learned a few tricks," the Supreme Commander sneered. "No," Walker corrected. "We're the species that turned being prey into being the ultimate predator, and you're about to learn why." The battle began with a massive energy blast from the Dominion fleet, enough power to crack a planet. But Earth wasn't there anymore. The entire planet flickered and vanished, revealing itself to be a massive hologram created by Free Worlds Alliance technology. Earth had moved its orbit slightly, hidden behind the most advanced cloaking field ever created. The Dominion fleet had just fired at nothing. "Now," Walker commanded. Space itself seemed to come alive. Thousands of ships appeared from every direction, human vessels working in perfect coordination with their alien allies. But these weren't the same ships from previous battles. Every engagement had taught humanity something new, and every ship had been modified and improved. Phase shift missiles passed through Dominion shields like they weren't there. Hybrid energy weapons powered by both human and alien technology struck with devastating accuracy. AI-controlled drone swarms adapted their attacks faster than the Dominion could respond. The Supreme Commander's voice crackled through the comm system, showing genuine fear for the first time. "What are you?" "We're human," Walker answered. "We spent our entire history fighting things bigger and stronger than us. We learned to use our enemy's strength against them. And you gave us exactly what we needed. Time to learn your weaknesses." The battle turned into a rout. The Dominion's rigid tactics fell apart against weapons and strategies they'd never seen before. Their mighty fleet, terror of 1,000 worlds, broke formation and began to retreat. But humanity had one final surprise. "Execute Operation Phoenix," Walker ordered. Hidden jump gates, built using reversed-engineered Dominion technology, activated around the retreating fleet. But instead of letting ships travel faster than light, these gates prevented it. The Dominion fleet was trapped. "Surrender," Walker demanded, "or find out what else we've learned to do with your technology." The Supreme Commander's ship powered down its weapons. Across the battlefield, Dominion vessels followed suit. In the hours that followed, representatives from hundreds of worlds gathered to witness something unprecedented: the unconditional surrender of the Dominion Empire. The galaxy's greatest power had been defeated by a species they dismissed as primitive just months ago. "What happens now?" Lieutenant Rogers asked as they watched the surrender ceremony. "Now," Walker said, "we make sure this never happens again. Earth joins the galactic community as equals, not subjects. And maybe next time someone discovers a new civilization, they'll remember this day and choose diplomacy over domination." Ambassador Tech approached with a group of alien leaders. "The galaxy won't forget this. Humans have changed everything." Walker nodded. Earth had not only survived its first contact with alien life, it had reshaped the balance of power in the galaxy. Humanity had proven itself not just as warriors, but as innovators, allies, and champions of the oppressed. The Dominion had wanted to teach humanity its place in the galaxy. Instead, humans had taught the galaxy why you should never provoke a species that turned survival into an art form. The stars would never be the same again.